Nadia Massi in Paris. Thank you for joining us. We start the programme then in Mali, a country that now has a new president after the second military coup there in less than a year. Colonel Assimi Goita was appointed late last night after engineering the arrest of the president and the prime minister earlier this week. Now, he's insisted that elections will still be going ahead as normal in Mali and that he's taking on the top job there only in an interim capacity. James Vecina has the story.
9 months after overthrowing President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, Colonel Assimi Goita is now officially heading Mali's transition. In the hours leading up to his nomination, Assimi Goita rounded up major political figures in Bamako, explaining the reasons behind his second coup carried out earlier this week while he was serving as vice president. Under his orders, soldiers detained President Bayandao and his Prime Minister Mokhtar Wane on Monday before releasing them 3 days later after they'd resigned.
Il fallait choisir entre la stabilité du Mali et le chaos. Nous avons choisi la stabilité. Il fallait choisir entre le désordre et la cohésion au sein des forces armées de défense et de sécurité. Nous avons choisi la cohésion des forces de défense et de sécurité. Car il s'agit de l'intérêt supérieur de la nation. Nous n'avons pas d'autre agenda caché.
Goita, who for months sidelined the opposition M5 movement, is now offering to collaborate with the once powerful group and nominate one of its members as his prime minister.
Il a particulièrement insisté sur la nécessité de rassemblement des Maliens pour avoir une union sacrée. En tout cas, en ce qui nous concerne, ça nous est allé droit au cœur et ça va dans le sens du processus de rectification de la transition que le peuple malien, je crois, dans son écrasante majorité, souhaite depuis quelques jours. Merci.
And according to the M5 spokesperson, the role could be handed to Choguel Maïga. All eyes will now be on Mali's international partners. France and the United States had threatened to reimpose sanctions after the ousting of Bayandao and Mokhtar Wane. Closer to home, members of the Economic Community of West African States had also warned they'd impose new measures. The 15-nation bloc is set to meet in Ghana to discuss the situation in Mali on Sunday.
Well, to discuss more about what's been happening in Mali, I'm very pleased to welcome to the programme Niagalé Bagayoko. Thank you very much for joining us. You're the head of the African Security Sector Network. And tell us your thoughts on what's been going on. Only 9 months since the last military coup. Why do you think the military is acting again?
I think that a very important aspect is about the legal situation, because the ECOWAS Commission and members have asked at the time in August 2020 the junta to change the charter. Initially, it was planned to have the vice president to take office in case of impeachment for the president. But in fact, what happened is that there is today no provision within the charter itself. And now it has been rather easy for the junta to take office via Assimi Goita. And if I am insisting on this aspect, it is because everybody is only focusing on the security aspect of this crisis. But there are a lot of normative questions which are of great importance. And I think that this junta is very clever and smart and able to change and to manipulate the legal rules, in fact.
Okay, well, you say, the military has acted cleverly here, but do they have the support of the people? Because during the last coup in Mali, in last August, we saw people coming out into the streets to protest, to celebrate the fall of the government then. That hasn't happened this time around. So surely the military need the support of the people to continue what they're doing.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure that the military needs the support of people. What I've been seeing on the ground, because I was just in Bamako last week, is that people are in fact fed up and there is a lot of discouragement, I would say. I don't think this time we will see a lot of support, and there has been a lot also of declaration from civil society organizations which are trying to oppose what is happening. But I think that the population itself is completely feeling that there is nothing to do, and that what is happening at the summit of the state, it's completely out of their control. So you can have small protests, as you can have seen, especially from patriots, Malian groups, but I don't think that the population will protest massively in the forthcoming days.
Well, what do you think the international community should do then? I mean, France has talked about the idea of sanctions on the military leaders here, but couldn't that end up just harming ordinary Malians who, as you said, are not really involved in the political process anyway?
I think that the problem is that there has been other events which have occurred on the continent, especially in Chad, and the position which has been taken by the international community, France, of course, but also the African Union itself, has clearly supported the junta which has taken office in Chad after the death of Idriss Déby. And now it is very difficult for the international community to have credibility when trying to oppose sanctions, notwithstanding the fact that the sanctions which have been taken in last August and September have done a lot of harm to the population in terms of finance, economy, costs. So today there is a strong opposition, I think, among the Malian population itself. So I'm not sure that there are a lot of margin for the international actors.
Can I just ask you, finally, you said you were in Bamako yourself recently. Have you seen any change in terms of the standard of living of people in the country now since the last coup in August?
No, I don't think that there has been this kind of change, but I think that it is very important to understand that the Malian population is suffering a lot, of course, from an economic point of view, but also in terms of freedom, in terms of personal safety. The situation of civilians in Mali is really a matter of concern, in my view.
All right, Niagalé Bagayoko, thank you very much indeed for coming in to talk to us today on France 24.